speed limit signs on the turn say 45, and I was doing 145 when I came up to those turns.
I was scared out of my underwear.
My license plate is Quest for Speed, and I've been that way all my life.
And I passed one Pantera.
I just like to go fast.
The speedometer was indicated 192 at that point.
This is a one-of-a-kind race. There's nothing else like it anywhere in the country. It's the only race on an open road.
There's no faster open road race in the world.
Nevada's Central High Desert represents the Old West wide open spaces. Wide open roads. And solid rock. 90-foot walls of rock and what is known as the Narrows. Part of the Silver State Classic Challenge course, this canyon is a brutal reminder that this is not a track race or closed course. The key word here is challenge for both driver and car. No protective railings, no predictable turns, just blind curves, hills, and wide open straights that run for over 10 miles without a turn. In all, 92.6 miles from start to finish.
Yeah, there's so many beautiful cars out here, it's just you don't know where to turn.
I like the Bentley. I like elegance.
Flat run? Yeah, it goes 200 miles an hour.
This year I'm going to have a 930 turbo Porsche in here. I'll be the driver.
Some drivers are here to challenge one another. Others just want to challenge themselves. They all have one thing in common: passion for racing.
When you look at the race itself, and the fact that it took us 10 hours to drive up here, we're going to be here for 2 days. The race lasts somewhere between 48 minutes and an hour and a half for different drivers, and it's over. And then you've got 10 hours back. So you've got 20 hours worth of driving to race for 45 minutes to an hour. Seems a little crazy, but when you race cars, you don't think about that because it's so much fun.
Well, I thought it was the type of thing that I've always wanted to do, and it's something that I, like to go out and drive fast anyway, and this would be a time when I could do it and really do it safely and find out what the real top performance of the car is.
When I've seen the Silver State Challenge, it's kind of a dream of anyone that likes to go fast in the street, not have to think about getting a ticket. Because I've already got one of those today anyway.
This is the roots of motor racing, point A to point B, and it takes us back to where the whole thing started, and I couldn't miss this.
All of us fantasize from time to time. Hey, what if I just had a section of public highway closed where I could just go out there and stretch my legs? What would I do?
Last year I averaged 140.
Tomorrow I think our average speed will be around 145.
It feels better at 160 than the car we ran last year at 150.
Capable of about 165 miles an hour.
We'll be looking to do 180, 185.
161, 162.
We went 196.
About 165 top end.
200 miles an hour for the full length of the race.
Come here. Look at the back of this car. Get a good picture of it. That's all you're going to see tomorrow in that race. That's all you're going to see is the back of that car.
You think so, huh?
I'm in a Viper. Vipers suck. Wait
Corvettes suck.
Good luck, because you'll need it.
Get out of here.
When the car show is over, tall tales all told, and the tech inspection's complete, everybody is high on anticipation.
added and unexpected challenge was presented to the drivers at the starting line. In contrast to the usually arid desert climate, an early morning rain fell steadily at starting time. It dampened not only the course, but the hopes of many drivers for record speed.
So there you have it, folks, out there in TV land. Get you some glasses that's sweeping the land. Remember what I said, now I'm a hip hopper, yeah. Go get you some blue blockers.
Back in the Nevada desert, where the Blue Blocker 100 continues here on ESPN2. Bob Barsha and Ted Jones with you. This race is full of dozens of terrific stories, but none more so than the story of the black Corvette number 92 being driven by Roger Jones of Greeley, Colorado. You see, Roger Jones has a handicap, but he also has a need for speed.
I like to do it, you know, to go fast in cars before, and it just didn't change. I still had that. This was obvious. This was a car wreck also, but it doesn't scare me from cars. I like to go fast.
So you lost your legs in a car wreck?
In a car accident.
Just on a highway?
On the highway. I was a truck driver and I got hit head on by a car. So it wasn't my fault.
Robert Jones remains the complete driver. He operates his black Corvette by the use of hand controls, which he insists give him an unfair advantage. Everyone is preparing for the big event in their own way. Let's watch and listen.
Tom's all ready this morning, guys. I didn't tell my wife I was going to race today, but here's her car. I'm sorry, we have a minimum hair requirement. The driver has to have so much hair to be able to compete in this race. He's close. Let me put it this way, a few years from now, I'll be doing the same thing to your head. It's getting there, as you can see. Yeah, get there alive. Because I want to do this again. It's so much fun. I mean, it's about as much fun as a person can have without laughing.
Hi, Mom. I know we're going to be able to tell our stories.
That's better.
Hi, Mom.
You're in the Broadbent Park at the city of Ely, Nevada, and we've got the fall episode of the Silver State Classic Challenge. It's an open road race where the actual amateur can come up and go through some safety inspections and meets all the criteria, and why they can go as fast as they really want to on a public highway.
Marco's associate editor on CarCraft, and it was just kind of a last minute thing where he found out that I was going to be coming up here to run the event. So it was a good chance for him to get up here and get in the car with me and just navigate down the course.
Just being able to go flat out on a public highway, there's something really cool about that. Not without the chance of getting arrested. Oh, there are a few Mopars here. Don't even think they're not represented. We got the General Lee over here. John Schneider, the real deal.
You don't need brakes in this race.
That's right.
Two things you don't need are brakes and a rear view mirror.
Well, we had an equipment malfunction. Spent the last bunch of checkpoints trying to bleed off speed. So I'm not sure how we did. I have no idea. Yes, sir. This is my dad.
Equipment malfunction is another word for the navigator screwing up.
When all the course workers are in place and the road is properly closed, things start happening very quickly as the cars start launching just a minute or so apart. And the sound of these high-performance cars at full throttle echoing off the Nevada hills is an incredible experience.
You know, we've all seen cars on racetracks going over 200, but I'll tell you, when you see some of these guys coming down the highway for a mile or so at 200 plus miles an hour, it just makes the hair stand up in my neck, I'll tell you that.
Some other delays, and nobody could seem to figure out why. So we gathered up our crack team of investigators to do a little investigative reporting to find out what was holding up the race. What we found was a simple case of miscommunication.
South Narrows, come in, over. South Narrows, come in. South Narrows, South Narrows.
With that out of the way, the race was resumed. And once again, the Nevada desert and the surrounding hills roared with the sounds of screaming engines as regular people drove street-legal vehicles down a public highway at 3 or 4 times the posted speed limit. Is this cool or what?
Wow. Yeah. That was insane.
That racing is life, all the rest is just waiting.
This transmission will evolve at designated points.